Hello, it's Sarah with MyNaturalBabyBirth.com. Today I wanted to tell you about precipitous labor. What the heck is that? Precipitous labor. It sounds like you're perspiring while you're in labor. That happens. But some women have these super long labors you hear about, 30, 40 hours, terrible. And then some women have these short, quick labors, like, 20 minutes later, 2-3 hours, and they pop out a kid. How does that happen? What does that mean? How does that work? And so, let me define it for you really quick. A precipitous labor is considered a labor where the mother is only in active labor for 4 hours or less before she delivers her baby. And that includes pushing. And not a lot of women actually have them. It's like less than 10%. I can't remember the exact number. It's not very common. But it seems like everybody wants them because they're fast. Well, there's some caveats with that. First of all, though, how do you know if you're going to have a precipitous labor? What can you do to have one? Like, do you need to get ready? How are you going to know? And there are things that affect your chances of having one. First of all, it's genetic. Ask your mom or your sisters how long their labors were. And if they were shorter, you're going to have one. The second thing, the more children you've had, the more births you've had, the more likely your labors are going to get shorter and shorter each time. This happened to me. I've had 3 kids. The first 2 labors were 11 hours, 7 hours, and my last one was only 2.5. So it just goes to show timing can be everything with how many kids you've had. The third thing is you can have a precipitous labor it depends on what you're doing during your labor. Are you doing the things to speed it up? Are you doing all the things beforehand, like exercising and strengthening your core and your pelvic floor muscles to help that labor progress the most efficient way possible? And that's kind of wishy-washy depending on your own body and your own person. But mainly it's genetic, and if you've had kids more than once. So, 2 things you need to do. First, ask your mom or your sisters, your female relatives, the length of their labors, and then you will know if you need to get ready for it. 2, just because you don't have kids doesn't mean you necessarily will not have a precipitous labor. So, be sure to exercise, strengthen your core, keep your pelvic floor strong, do your Kegels, do your squats, move every day. And that will increase your chances of having a shorter labor, a precipitous labor. Now, just because they're precipitous does not mean it's always the best. Some women who never expected to have one don't realize how powerful and how strong and how sudden everything can happen so fast that it can traumatize some moms. It didn't bother me. I preferred it. It was kind of great. But at the same time, I don't want to have a kid at home. It's not something I prefer. And that just might happen next time that we have another baby. And so having it shorter and quicker that fast isn't always the best because it's so much more powerful quite often. But on the other hand, if you've gone through the motions, if you've had a few births previously, you know what to expect, you know how things go, then it can be a wonderful blessing. So, okay, do your homework. Remember, you can do hard things, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.